time, I'd like to call this meeting of the Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders to order. Please rise for a moment of silence. Salute to the flag, Dennis.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-10, has been complied with and shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting.
Roll call.
Freeholder Barrett Palante.
Here.
Freeholder Delina. Freeholder Polos. Freeholder Rios.
Here.
Freeholder Tamaro.
Here.
Freeholder Valenti.
Here.
Freeholder Director Rafano.
Here. Proclamations.
We have 3 this evening. The first is recognizing April 16th as Mamie Hansberry Day. She's the sister of playwright Lorraine Hansberry, who authored A Raisin in the Sun in 1959. Next is recognizing April 2011 as Alcohol Awareness Month in Middlesex County. And next is recognizing April 2011 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Middlesex County. Would Susan Settles and Reginald Johnson come forward, please?
Would you read the resolution? Or proclamation, I'm sorry.
Whereas Lorraine Hansberry is most well known for her contributions as a playwright, her legacy left only a few works, but all with dramatic effects regardless of race or color. And whereas Lorraine Hansberry was the first African-American woman to have her play, A Raisin in the Sun, produced on Broadway. She was the youngest American playwright at the age of 29 and only the 5th woman to receive the New York Drama Critics Circle Award for Best Play. And whereas A Raisin in the Sun was revived on Broadway in 2004 and was produced for television in 2008, including Sean Combs, Felicia Rashad, and Audra McDonald. The play was inspired by her own family's legal battle against racially segregated housing laws in Chicago during her youth. And whereas April 16th will be the opening night of A Raisin in the Sun at the Crossroads Theater in New Brunswick, and Lorraine's sister Mamie will represent the Hansberry family at the first performance of the play at Crossroads. Now, therefore, I, Christopher D. Rafano, Director of the Board of Chosen Freeholders of Middlesex County, do hereby proclaim April 16, 2011 as Mamie Hansberry Day in Middlesex County and honor the legacy of Lorraine Hansberry.
It's my honor to present this to you. Thank you very much. And would you like to say a few words?
I apologize for that phone call, but I thank you so much. I had the opportunity to be with Miss Mamie Hansberry yesterday. She is 88 years old, and she stood for an hour and a half and addressed the students of Rutgers University in Dr. Cheryl Wall's class with her hands in her pockets. So, you know, we have something to look forward to. Thank you so much. On behalf of Crossroads Theater Company, Marshall Jones III, and our co-founder, artistic director, Ricardo Kahn. Thank you.
And I'd also like to thank you, too.
Nice lady, huh?
Yep.
That's right.
Commemorative resolution.
Excuse me, I think we have some other
Oh,
presentations.
I'm sorry.
Stephen Liga. Did I see Stephen? And Denise Wilkins.
Yes, she is.
Okay, would you come forward, please? Freeholder Valenti.
Denise, it's a privilege for me this evening to make this presentation to you because you represent something very important in our county, and this is the dedication of the month of April as Child Abuse Prevention Month. And to me and to all of us, it's a horrible crime that's perpetrated against our most precious and most vulnerable people. And there's about 3 million children that are reported abused and neglected in this country each year. including over 50,000 in the state of New Jersey. So I'm not going to read all of this, but I want to hand this to you for our recognition for all the work you do.
Thank you, Freeholder.
You want to
And
say a few
special
words?
thank you. Special thanks to the Board of Chosen Freeholders for their support of the work of the Commission on Child Abuse and Missing Children. We represent a cross-section of provider agencies, educators, shelter personnel, medical personnel, who represent, as Freeholders said, our youngest and most vulnerable. And we have presented community forums on some of the emerging topics that have expanded this topic, such as cyberbullying and internet predators and the drug abuse that's taken place for prescriptions. And we try to do a valuable service of promoting awareness in the community of these issues. So we really thank the board.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Now it's time for commemorative
Yes,
resolution.
a few more. First is recognizing freeholder Blanquita Valenti as she was named Citizen of the Year by New Brunswick Elks Lodge 324. Next is recognizing the following individuals who were selected by the American Conference on Diversity. Middlesex County Diversity Champions include Iris Colon of Carteret, Deputy Police Chief Benjamin Ruiz of Perth Amboy, Charles Figg of Highland Park, Shirley Genty of Fords, and the same group gave the Humanitarian Award to Jacqueline Hancock Pena. Community Service Award was presented to the United Way of Central Jersey, and the Corporate Citizen Award to the Americana Hospitality Group, LLC.
Need a motion to adopt the resolutions?
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Valente, seconded by Freeholder Tamaro. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Correspondence, Margaret.
Each freeholder has been provided with a list of correspondence received by the clerk's office since our last meeting. This correspondence will be kept on file in the office of the clerk of the board for reference.
Need a motion to accept the correspondence?
So moved.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Need a motion to accept the minutes of March 3rd, 2011 Freeholders meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Barrett Belante,
Yes.
Freeholder Rios,
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro,
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti,
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano.
Yes. Reports of freeholders. Freeholder Carol Barrett Belante.
We're going to start this evening. I have a lot of reports, but the most important, I think, tonight is I'm very pleased to announce that our Academy for Science, Mathematics, and Engineering, which is part of our fine vocational technical school system, will be featured on an upcoming special on the Discovery Channel, hosted by actor Lou Gossett. This is fantastic news for our students, our academy, our vocational technical schools, and our county, because it puts the spotlight on the quality education that we offer and on the students, faculty, and staff who make the academy the success that it is. I would like to recognize Brian Laughlin, Superintendent of Vocational Technical Schools, and Paul Muntz, Principal of the Academy. Gentlemen, thank you so much for all of your hard work on behalf of the students of Middlesex County. And now we'll take a look at our Academy for Science, Mathematics, and Engineering.
The power of knowledge can go a very long way. Look how far it has already carried us, from our most basic quest for survival to our expanding reach into the universe. Today, our thirst for knowledge continues to propel us into new and uncharted frontiers.
The high-skilled worlds of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, perhaps no other fields of study, are as important to the future and success of our nation than these. Among the fastest-growing career segments in the U.S. today, they require a highly specialized education and training, and education experts agree the earlier the better.
Well, in the fields of science, math, and engineering technology, we believe that students should start early, in high school if possible. It can happen that a person doesn't really know much about engineering and then they decide to go into that field in college, and maybe it works and maybe it doesn't. What we offer is an opportunity for students that have an aptitude and an interest in science and math to start engineering work while still in high school, and it gives them a great chance to see if it's a field that they think they're interested in. It also gives us a chance to see if it's a field that they have a good aptitude for. And we think it's a good win-win situation.
Career and technical schools are paving the way for the new generation of engineers and scientists. Once thought of as schools only for traditional skilled trades, vocational schools are offering students interested in math, science, and engineering technology unlimited possibilities before they even reach college.
Career Academy School is usually a small high school with a distinct career theme. In our case, it's engineering technology. And we have a competitive admissions process so that students with clearly identified aptitude in math and science come to us. We give them the opportunity to take engineering courses while they're still in high school, some of which are for college credit. And so at the end of their high school experience, they're very well positioned to move on and to go on to their bachelor's degree program in engineering. But then again, they also learn that if the field isn't exactly what they're looking for, we give them the opportunities to branch off into another area of science or technology other than engineering. So the bottom line is we give them a head start and a good chance to get started way in advance of where they would if they went to a comprehensive high school.
One such school is the Academy for Science, Mathematics, and Engineering Technologies in Edison, New Jersey. As part of the Middlesex County Vocational and Technical Schools, the Academy is among the first New Jersey high school to specialize in engineering technologies. Driven by a rigorous college preparatory curriculum, the school focuses on producing the student who will, one day, become the well-rounded engineer.
We give every student a chance to work with actual situations, hands-on experience with technology that's used in the business world. They learn how to manage their own time, they learn how to manage projects, they learn how to be team players and manage teams, all at the same time with developing their skills in solving problems and creating new situations and being aware of paradigm changes.
Well, both my parents are actually engineers. So when I found out about this academy and how it was centered around math, science, and engineering, it was almost like a natural choice. And while here, I really hope to further my knowledge about computer sciences, since that's something I wish to pursue in the future. And I think the school has really prepared me because the teachers here are people who have been in the field and know the ins and outs of what they're teaching.
The Academy for Science, Mathematics, and Engineering Technologies' unique project-based curriculum allows students the opportunity to explore all aspects of engineering technologies from both a theoretical and hands-on perspectives.
When companies hire students right out of college, one of their complaints is problem-solving skills, a lack thereof. So what we are doing here at the Academy, we have taken the electronics, computer, engineering technologies curriculum, and not only do we provide the students with lectures on theory and concepts, we also provide hands-on activities, lab experimentation, all the way up to our senior project, whereby students take a design from conception to realization. We believe that this is a good differentiator for our students to become successful in the future.
The 21st century poses many challenges and opportunities for those in the field of engineering and science. The Academy for Science, Mathematics, and Engineering Technologies plans to continue to help prepare today's youth and tomorrow's workforce.
We have a comprehensive program in terms of we're not just teaching students about science and math and engineering. We're teaching whole students. And so we have a robust offering within our fairly narrow focus of math, science, and engineering, but we have interscholastic sports, and we have clubs and activities. We try to emphasize citizenship, and we try to emphasize teamwork. And we work in close partnership with industry because engineering, science, and technology is a rapidly evolving field. And so in order to make sure that our curriculum keeps pace with the rapid changes of the 21st century, we have a group of individuals that work in industry and in academia, and they get together regularly with us and review our curriculum and look at the project-based learning that's going on in our schools, and they give us feedback. And we use that feedback to refine and improve our curriculum so that we maintain that cutting edge and have our students ready to meet all the challenges of the coming years.
To find out more about Middlesex Vocational and Technical Schools or the Academy for Science, Mathematics, and Engineering Technologies, please visit www.mcvts.net.
Brian, do you know when it's going to be on television?
We're waiting to hear the broadcast schedule. The way the profile series, they pick a topic, it's going to be science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And they do like 4 or 5 segments in a 1-hour show. So I talked to the producers, and all this, we were one of the first segments for the next show. And all the other segments are finished, and they're putting it all together for the show. So they said they'd let me know as soon as the broadcast schedule.
As soon as you know, let us know so that we can really advertise. That was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. We're so proud of you.
Let's hear it for our academy.
Now I'll go on with the rest of my reports. Last night, the Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders were honored with the Francis J. Krupe Humanitarian Award. It's presented to the board from the New Brunswick Council 257 and the Knights of Columbus. So it's quite an honor, and I was very honored to accept it. And Margaret, I will give this to you later so you can hang it in a very special place. Going on with my report, in the Public Health Department, on March 17th, the Middlesex County Public Health Department's Hazardous Materials Unit presented Be Safe with Chemicals program at Parkview Elementary School in Milltown. Children in grades 1 through 4 participated in the program and learned what hazardous materials are, where they are found, and what to do if they ever find one. For further information or to schedule a similar program, please contact the Public Health Department's Hazmat Division. April is National Autism Awareness Month, and the Middlesex County Public Health Department would like to make the parents of children diagnosed with autism aware of their program designed to help families impacted by the condition. Through case management, families can identify and access available resources in the community. For further information, please contact the Middlesex County Public Health Department's Special Child Program. The county's Cancer Coalition was recognized by the Perth Amboy Parent College for its work in providing cancer education and outreach to our Hispanic residents. 2 Public Health Department employees, Vivian de Los Angeles and Padma Ardvine, received special awards on March 16th when they presented the Sharing Stories Cancer Education Program in partnership with Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital. Next, going on to the Middlesex County College, Spring Open House was held at the campus on March 17th. This year's event brought in over 469 students and 806 guests, an increase over last year's event, which brought in 428 students and 550 guests. I hope many of these potential students will decide to enroll, enjoy the benefits of our very prestigious county college. That the Middlesex County Environmental Health Division has increased its inspections of Class A recycling facilities. Class A facilities are those which handle cardboard, paper, plastic, glass, and metal cans. Currently, there are 10 such sites in Middlesex County. The New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection requires our division to inspect these facilities on a quarterly basis. Over the past year, a few of our sites had periodic maintenance problems. When demand for recycled products is down, large amounts of materials can remain on site for long periods, creating eyesores and possible safety hazards. As a result, our division has increased the number of inspections at these sites and has issued violations and a few case penalties. Next, over at the Extension Service, we're majorly gearing up in the spring. Becomes very, very active. An alternative energy meeting for agriculture was held on March 4th at the 4-H Center in East Brunswick. There were presentations by Rutgers Extension faculty and staff on management of utilities and opportunity to utilize new technologies. Also, the formal classroom instruction portion of Middlesex County Master Gardener volunteer program will be completed in mid-April. The program day and evening classes will continue through the spring and the summer and shift to more hands-on training in our demonstration gardens. We have over 50 Master Gardener interns in the 2010-2011 program. Also, a backyard composting workshop was held on March 26th at the Earth Center. Taught were the basics of composting process, building a compost pile and how it can be used. This is an ongoing collaborative effort with the Middlesex County Division of Solid Waste Management and the County Extension Department. We had over 30 county residents in attendance. Also, the 4-H Junior Council held their annual Breakfast with the Bunnies event, April 2nd. This event includes a pancake breakfast, petting zoo, a chance to meet the 4-H bunnies, crafts, face painting, and an egg hunt. This fundraiser is planned and run by 25 Junior Council 4-H members, grades 6 to 8, and provides funding for the 4-H service projects, scholarships, and overall 4-H program support. That's my report tonight.
Thank you, Freeholder. Deputy Director Ron Rios.
Thank you, Director. Tonight's agenda, we have 3 items, 3 resolutions. One of them awards a contract to PL Custom Body in the amount of $461,000 for the furnishing of a heavy rescue-type vehicle for the Middlesex County Hazmat Unit. This truck will replace a unit that we had for 20 years. Secondly, the next one of the other resolution authorizes the purchase of an automated license plate reader system that will be deployed to several police departments within the county. Another resolution is a pass-through grant to the Salvation Army for the purchase of a mobile canteen vehicle that will be stationed in Perth Amboy. And this vehicle will be deployed to large emergencies to provide food for first responders, or can be deployed to shelters in the event of evacuation. All these projects were approved by the County Grant Work Group as part of our Homeland Security strategy. Last week, Middlesex County participated in a tri-state Secure the Cities exercise to test our ability to identify and intercept a radiological source. The exercise included resources from New York, Connecticut, the Northern New Jersey UASI region, New Jersey, and federal agencies. Middlesex County agencies included the Prosecutor's Office, the Public Health Department, Hazardous Material Unit, and Emergency Management. And I'd like to assure our county residents that Middlesex County is always working hard in every which way to either secure grants or exercises to make sure that we're well trained and up to date in our training for in case of an emergency. As far as our sheriff's office volunteered their time in a New Jersey Special Olympics fundraiser for Special Olympics, and they raised over $3,100 for the Special Olympics athletes. Kudos to them for volunteering, and it's just a great cause that they work so hard for. We also had sheriff's officers present a program to about 25 senior citizens at the Kitty Keepwell camp in Roosevelt Park, educating them on safety in the home and scam and fraud prevention. We also had sheriff's officers educate the New Jersey Education Association at the Woodbridge Hilton on cyberbullying. Bullying has become a really serious issue that needs to be addressed and needs to continue to, we need to continue to educate everyone, whether it be educators, whether it be parents, grandparents, anyone. It's such a problem that we must continue to work hard in educating everyone. And also that program was also presented to the Professional Development Center in Piscataway to about 25 teachers. We also have educated 11 county residents with the installation of their child passenger safety seats since the beginning of March. Also like to report that this Sunday, April 17th, a total of 21 juveniles will graduate from our highly successful Youth Development Academy, also known as Boot Camp. And this is a project that worked through the prosecutor's office, and this program began in the fall of 2003 and has helped hundreds of youngsters learn to avoid criminal behavior and find a better way of life. And it's been a successful program, and it has helped so many young individuals in our county. And continued progress in law and public safety. Director. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Director. Freeholder Tamaro.
Thank you, Director. And I'm going to start off with some great news, something that I've been involved in since 1997. When you Google Thomas Edison, the first thing that comes up is not where he was born in Milan, Ohio, or where his invention factory was in West Orange, or where his summer home was in Fort Myers, Florida, or even his burial in the Whalen Estates, where his home was, where he spent his last days when he died in 1931. But it's Menlo Park, Edison, New Jersey. And yesterday, the state of New Jersey awarded a contract to a contractor to refurbish the Edison Memorial Tower, which was construction and reconstruction will start in early May. And the county was helpful, who gave us a grant, and we're working on another grant with them too to help offset some more costs. So it's something that I'm very proud of, and our president, Nancy Zerbe, who's worked for the last 5 years to make sure that this would become a reality. And I want to thank the county for their efforts to also move this forward too. Just a couple of reports. I'll start off with the North Jersey Transportation Capital Program. The county is receiving about $173 million in funding under proposed $3.5 million fiscal year 2010 Transportation Capital Program. The most expensive projects include $53 million to advance the Trumley Point Access Road, which will help the borough of Carteret. $20 million to advance Cheesequake Creek Bridge replacement in Old Bridge. $19.6 million to advance the Route 35 Greenwood Drive to Prospect Avenue roadway rehabilitation, widening, drainage, and safety improvements in Aberdeen and also in Old Bridge Townships. Excuse me. $18.4 million to advance Hose Lane extension on 287 in Piscataway. $11 million to advance the Route 27 north of Evergreen Street in the vicinity of the Elizabeth River resurfacing project in Edison, Woodbridge Townships, Rollway, and Linden. Another $8.7 million for a crossing bridge replacement in Plainsboro Township. $8.5 million to advance improvements in South Amboy. $7.1 million to advance the New Brunswick Bikeway, so New Brunswick will get its bikeway. $6.8 million to advance Route 35 resurfacing project in various locations of South and Cherry Tree Road and Route 9 in Middlesex and Monmouth counties. $5.7 million to advance the Route 27 Lake Avenue Bridge over the South Plainfield Branch Bridge replacement, and that will help Metuchen. And $5.6 million to advance the Route 27 6-mile bridge run replacement in North Brunswick and Franklin Townships. So some good projects. Hopefully we can get them underway this coming year. The county planning board met this past Tuesday, and the county agriculture development board, we closed on 2 sites, 2 farms this year. One in Cranberry and the other one in Monroe, and they're working on another one in Monroe too. The water quality planning activities, the wastewater management plan, they spent the whole entire month of March working on this plan, and we were one of the few counties that were able to submit our plan to the state of New Jersey on time. Most counties have not submitted, so I want to congratulate our planner George and our engineer John Reiser for getting that done. There was a lot of work that went into that to move that forward, especially when you see that our county was up there getting it done and the other counties are still working on it. There are some red light cameras coming to fruition, and there's one on Route 18 in Tice's Lane, so when you come by Route 18 in Tice's Lane, you better stop. There's 3 in Edison, one on Prince Street in Route 1, one on Wooding Avenue, Route 1, and the other one on Plainfield Avenue, Route 1. So coming through Edison, you better stop at those lights also. Or avoid them, yeah, that's what I try to do. but don't spread that word too much, because everybody will follow you. New Jersey Transit is going to come up with a scorecard, and you'll be able to go online or go on your famous Blackberries or your Droids or whatever, and fill out surveys on customer service. And last but not least, on last Friday, Chris, Carol, and I attended the groundbreaking of the hole in the wall in Ernston Road and Borntown Avenue. And after many years, I think there was a councilman who spoke at the event. He said they started, Randy Travisani. He started talking about that in 1973, and they finally put the shovel in the ground last Friday. And it's going to be a long and drawn-out project, but once completed, it'll be very similar to what they did in by Metro Park, where they build the bridge and move it in place and widen it up and improve that intersection. So it's a project that is well worth and to help the residents of that community, both Sayreville and Old Bridge, to improve that intersection. So some good things happening. Thank you, Director.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Blanquita Valente.
Thank you, Freeholder Director. I distributed a copy to each of the freeholders of the Department of Services, Senior Services Annual Report, and it highlights how important county government is and the fact that we can all be proud of how many residents the department directly assisted this year. Close to 22,000 people were connected to appropriate programs and services. Almost 10,000 individuals received Medicare counseling. Over 5,500 seniors were given hot, nutritious meals. More than 1,100 vulnerable residents were provided case management and in-home care. And over 300 unpaid caregivers received help with their caregiving responsibilities. These are all critical services that helped our residents remain in their communities. Last night, I was also present at the awards, the community awards by the Knights of Columbus, and it was celebrated at Robert Wood Johnson at the atrium. And the fact that Middlesex County received the Monsignor Francis J. Krupa Humanitarian Award was because we have been the organization that has served the community in quite an extraordinary way. And in this case, it's our commitment to end homelessness in Middlesex County. Our county was one of the first in the state to adopt a 10-year plan to end homelessness. Middlesex County is one of the few in the state that have initiated a county homeless trust fund, and the Board of Freeholders may be the only one so far to appropriate $1 million in Housing First Capital Funds, seed money for the development of accessible, permanent, and supportive housing for the homeless. and it was a great honor to be there with freeholder Carol Barrett Belante to receive this prestigious award on behalf of all the members of the Board of Chosen Freeholders. Also, I have a report from the McFoods program, and right now they're seeking additional warehouse space at 777 Jersey Avenue for McFoods. And for those of you who may not be aware, McFoods was created back in 1994 by this Board of Chosen Freeholders to ensure that an adequate supply of nutritious foods and personal products would be available to our Middlesex County residents in need. McFoods began collecting and distributing food from a small space belonging to the Parks Department in Roosevelt Park. That was the first time. Over the years, the service of collecting and distributing food to nonprofit soup kitchens and food pantries has grown tremendously. In 1997, the MCIA partnered with the county to help provide the service and warehouse space belonging to our recycling division on Edgeboro Road. As the need continued to grow, the county was able to provide about 12,000 square feet of warehouse space at 711 Jersey Avenue in New Brunswick. And this space has served McFoods very well in that it had adequate square footage, a loading dock, and a garage door. Unfortunately, that space experienced severe flooding in 2003, and much of the food in the warehouse at that time was destroyed. As an expedient alternative, the county then was able to secure space for McFoods at 777 Jersey Avenue, a smaller space that is in the same building as the Board of Elections. The services have greatly expanded. In 2010, the program collected and distributed 350 tons of food, setting a record, almost double the 178 tons received in 2008. But with the economic downturn, the need for food is even greater, and it continues to grow. To answer this need, the program has run more food drives and activities have increased. The number of nonprofits coming to McFoods for supplies has doubled. I remember when it was just about 50, now it's double, almost double that. And McFoods is running out of room and is currently renting a 10 by 20 storage unit to accommodate the recent influx of donations from our annual school fund drive. So we are hopeful that there will be some additional storage space in the current location at 777 Jersey Avenue that is not being used. And this will be directly connected to the McFoods warehouse and only separated by a sheetrock wall, which could easily be removed to allow the program to expand the facility. Having access to this space would be a tremendous help for the program. We really have tremendous needs because our residents don't have jobs and are suffering economically. Again, this year we are partnering with Place in the Park, where usually we can collect food donations, and if this partnership is successful, additional space will definitely be required. We must remember that and keep in mind the ever-growing needs and consider a larger, conveniently located space with the additional amenities, including a loading dock, bathroom, and additional parking. And this would allow the Board of Freeholders, the MCIA, and McFoods partnership to more efficiently and effectively collect and distribute food and serve the growing needs of the less fortunate of our Middlesex County residents. But in the meantime, the additional square footage at 777 Jersey Avenue would solve many space problems. And again, I want to submit that to the Board of Freeholders because it's important that we have this extra space. And that's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder. Mr. Kelso, any resolutions to be amended?
There are none.
Resolutions to be added?
Yes, we have one resolution to be added. This resolution is to rescind resolution dated March 24th, 2011, which was Resolution 11-0474, which authorized the second-year option extension with AMC Industries LLC for roadway milling service requirements required by the County of Middlesex Department of Public Works Division of Highways, bid number purchase order 10-96A, for an additional year, May 5, 2011 through May 4, 2012, in a total lump sum amount of $877,519.90. This resolution is necessary because there is some design work that's necessary in order to comply with requirements, will cause us to have to defer some of the milling and paving.
Okay. I need a motion to add this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Barrett Galante.
Yes.
Freeholder Rios.
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano.
Yes.
And that'll be Resolution 11-0613.
Any resolutions to be held?
There are none.
Resolutions to be voided?
There are none.
At this point in time, I'd like to open the meeting up to the public for discussion on any agenda resolutions. Remember, there's a 5-minute rule. Anyone from the public? Mr. Stewart?
Richard Stewart, New Brunswick, page 6. On 544, I noted they're saying 6 years now on these down payment. I thought it was longer than that. Is that a change?
No, it's been 6 years for a while. For a couple of years now, it's 6 years.
Okay, thank you. This 543, the home investment partnership, I am looking at acquiring 9 units to be rented. Is that something new in what the county's doing?
No, we have a variety of different ways. Sometimes we'll do that if there's development that someone's going to purchase to make affordable, that we'll offer some money, so now it has to stay affordable for 20 years. The 9 units will stay.
There was another item that I was going to ask about. Well, let me just see here. On page 9. Oh, this 569, a developer's agreement site plan. Where is this? Is that, yeah, that's the old Ford site. Yeah. Are the plans for that at your office? And number 578, the list of the schedule of distribution of from the prosecutor's office. Where is that available?
It's attached to the resolution. It's online. You can get it online.
What's the line?
Richard.
Yeah, I know,
It's
but you
available.
don't know. There are some of us that don't have computers.
It's also available in paper, but it is available online. We can get a copy if you'd like.
Okay, that's what I'm interested in. And number 580, I'm curious about, what is this automated license plate recognition system?
Rory?
That's a system that you deploy basically countrywide. It's a portable system. It's mounted in police cars. The technology exists that allows that system to physically read license plates and check those license plates through a database, see if any of the license plates are the vehicle that's wanted for whatever type of criminal activity, or the suspicious vehicle that's been identified at various Homeland Security or critical infrastructure sites. There's a database that will track that. So if there are particular vehicles that law enforcement is looking for in particular Homeland Security issues, those vehicles can pick them out almost instantaneously within the milliseconds of reading the license.
I'm glad I asked this because it ties into something else I was going to ask tonight. Does the county, on any of the county roads, do we have any of the cameras that take pictures to issue tickets?
They're on county road. It's on county roads, but really managed by municipality. It's a county road that usually intersects with a municipal road. But there's no county project doing that, I suppose, John.
Eastern Avenue.
Eastern Avenue.
Is it a county road or is it a Brunswick crossroad?
The town is managing it, but it's on a county road.
Okay.
When this was first mentioned in New...
There'll be many more, so be careful.
Yeah. This is, when this was first mentioned in New Brunswick, I raised the question...
Time.
I raised the question of the plates, the frames around the plates, in many cases, obstruct. They may obstruct the state of the license. They don't give you a clear. They don't give you a clear view for a camera or anyone else looking at it. And I wondered why. I mentioned this at a city council meeting because we do have some in New Brunswick, and I asked whether they were going to do anything about if the enforcement. Also, I see cars all of. I see cars all of the time that have plastic, which is illegal, on. But are they doing anything about enforcing the law?
Mr. Stewart, your time's up. You can come back when you have the other opportunity to speak at the meeting and ask that question. Okay?
But you follow what I'm saying.
I understand.
You know, if you're going to take pictures.
Anybody else in the public?
Motion to close.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Tamaro. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Does any Freeholder have any resolution that they'd like to have removed from the consent agenda and voted on separately?
I have one. Resolution 542.
542.
And I have two, Director. Resolution 542 and 551.
Okay. Anybody else?
550.
Okay.
Just let me check one second. Oh, 551. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Kelso?
Yes, Freeholder Director, a motion would be in order to adopt a consent agenda consisting of resolution numbers 11-0507 through 11-0613, excluding resolutions 11-0542 and 11-0551 to be voted upon separately.
I need a motion.
So moved.
Any
Second.
I'm sorry.
Second.
Okay. Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Tamaro. Roll call.
Freeholder Barrett Belmonte.
Yes.
Freeholder Rios.
Yes.
Freeholder Tamaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano.
Yes.
Now, Freeholder Director, would be appropriate to consider Resolution 11-0542. This resolution was excluded by both Freeholder Valenti and Freeholder Rios.
I make a motion to adopt 542.
I need a second.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Tamaro, seconded by Freeholder Barrett Belmonte to adopt Resolution 0542. Roll call.
Freeholder Barrett Belmonte.
Yes. Yes.
Freeholder Rios.
Present, not voting.
Freeholder Tamaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti.
Present, not voting.
Freeholder Director Rafano.
Yes.
And now finally, Freeholder Director, Resolution 11-0551, excluded by Freeholder Rios.
Need a motion to adopt Resolution 0551.
I make a
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Freeholder Tamaro, seconded by Freeholder Barrett Belmonte. Roll call.
Freeholder Barrett Belmonte.
Yes.
Freeholder Rios.
Present, not voting.
Freeholder Tamaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano?
Yes. At this point in time, I'd like to open up the meeting to the public on any item. Anybody from the public? Mr. Stewart.
I probably have some extra sensitivity about this license plate thing. Is because some years back, it could have been 15 years ago, I received a notice to appear in Newark court, a parking violation. And I hadn't been in Newark in years. And fortunately, I was working the day that it cited, and my employer, I got a letter from my employer saying that I was there all day. But I had to take off a day and go to Newark to deal with this. It turned out that the person writing the ticket had put down the wrong number, and the rest of the ticket didn't even match my car or anything as far as the make or the color or anything like that. But it cost me, and I had to drive up to Newark and all. So I feel that when they start checking plates and all, I don't see any reason why the police do not insist, and I don't know, maybe the Attorney General can push on this. I don't know why they don't enforce. If they want a reason to write tickets, this is a good reason to write tickets, because if the license plate is not visible to show you what state it is, and these plastic, that the color, the plastic fades, and sometimes you cannot read the number properly. I don't know about the light also, whether the light when they're taking camera pictures or this other device that they're using. I think that, and maybe it's a responsibility of the Attorney General to call for the police to start enforcing. If they want to write some tickets, that's a good. If you don't have a clear license plate, that's a good reason to come into court and make a contribution.
Thank you. Anybody? Sir?
Thank you, Freeholder Reels. My name is Cedric Goodman. I'm County Committee Person for New Brunswick, 4th Ward, District 1. There were 3 items that I wanted to discuss that I have experienced that I want to bring to your attention for the possibility of consideration. The first item that I'd like to discuss with you is considering the budget cuts that's been taking place so long now from the federal level down to the state level and things like that, and Governor Christie and things like that. I had the pleasure of researching some possible revenue generating items, and I wanted to submit them to someone. I've reached out to several people. I've gotten lukewarm response to it. I've reached out to my Assemblyman Joseph Egan about it. I've reached out to James Polos about it. Some phone numbers I don't have, but I've made effort to try to connect with some people about it. And it concerns the taxes that has been introduced to bring in additional revenue for different cities and different municipalities. There is a program in Atlanta, Georgia, that a city councilman had introduced that I think is very, very useful, or could be possibly useful here in the city of New Brunswick and other municipalities around the county. And he proposed it to the city council, and was hoping that it would be adopted as a referendum by the assembly. So that was my reason for reaching out to Joseph Egan and Mr. Polis about it. And it consists of a tax under the title of a MOST tax, which stands for Municipal Option Sales Tax. And it's a 1% tax option that is created and imposed on those who do not live in your municipality. a lot of people come to our city, come to New Brunswick particularly, because I live here, and they live elsewhere. They travel long distances to come here, but they work here. And our roads are subject to the wear and tear. Our infrastructure is affected. Throughout New Brunswick, you can see the roads and the infrastructure is really deteriorating over the years. Are pretty bad. They use our water, they use our emergency services and things like that. And this particular councilman proposed it to offset the cost of the resurfacing of the infrastructure, the aging police cars, the aging county vehicles and things like that, to bring in additional revenue. And I thought it was a good idea because it seems that he outlined very clearly of the cost that it would cost the city and municipalities over 10 to 25 years, and it continuously kept rising from $750 million and over the next 25 years to rise to $3.1 billion by February 1st of this year. The city council adopted it in that particular city, and the council member is waiting right now for the General Assembly to place it on referendum so that it can go before the Atlanta voters. And I thought it was a very timely item that I could introduce or partner with someone or talk about it to see if that's something that we can consider to bring in additional revenue for our county, considering the cuts and things like that.
I'll make a suggestion. Why don't you get that information over to our county administrator, and we'll take a look at it.
Okay.
And you said you had two other revenue sources, possibly?
Yes. The second one, well, the second revenue possibility is I spoke to, again, like I said, I reached out to some people. You don't get phone calls as promptly as you would like to. When those wheels are turning in your head, you got to write it down or get it out as quickly possible, because you get older, you forget about it. Mm-hmm. But yes, I would like to propose a live webcast for our meetings. The live webcasts gives us the option of viewing our meetings live, and we already have on-demand feature, but it also could be proposed as a membership or a fee, because I've created it on my website as a membership. It's a private portal for entertainment and for informational purposes. But the county also could use that as far as a fee, since we do tax our municipal taxes and schools and property and things like that. I thought it might be a great suggestion to consider that, or see if it could take off, or see if someone could, see if that's a possibility as well. The gentleman records our meetings, and when I go online to review them, they're on demand. Okay, and if someone misses the meeting or someone can't make the meeting, they can still tap in live online at home and view us live without it being old or prior to tonight's meeting.
Time.
One of the things that we're doing, we just implemented in the beginning of this year a new meeting minute system called Legistar that really provides a very interactive and very transparent process for not only for the freeholders but for the public. And a component of the process is also live streaming of the meetings associated with every resolution that will be online. We're in the process of testing that as we speak, and we're hoping sometime between summertime or early fall it'll be up and running. So at any point in time, you can not only access the meeting resolutions, but associated with those resolutions is also online video of the meeting as well.
Okay, definitely. Wonderful. Appreciate that.
And why don't you get that third idea over to the administrator, and he can evaluate that and talk to us about it.
Okay.
I'll talk to you after the meeting.
All righty.
Okay?
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else from the public?
Hello, my name is Russell Hendrickson, and I'm the State Manager for Disaster Services for the Salvation Army. And I wanted to come tonight to thank you for the funding that's going to be provided through a grant from Homeland Security to purchase a mobile feeding vehicle, what we like to call a canteen, that's going to be housed here in Middlesex County. For over 100 years, Salvation Army has been involved in disaster services, and for all the years that we've been doing it here in New Jersey, this is actually the first time that a county has recognized the services that we've provided and have been willing to step forward and help in this way. These vehicles are not cheap. They're stainless steel kitchens on wheels. A large portion of what we do in New Jersey is emergency feeding. whether it's responders who are going to a fire or a flood, victims, as well as search and rescue and other areas that we work. As a matter of fact, this past weekend, we were unable to respond to the accident that was out on Route 40 that closed down Route 40 on Saturday night. We were requested to come out and feed the over 100 firefighters and volunteers that were there, but we didn't have a vehicle in the county, and all of our other vehicles were either already geared up to do something the next day or the drivers were unavailable. So this will give us a vehicle that will be housed here in the county. We've been offered an indoor parking at a local fire company, so it'll have indoor storage, it'll be safe, it'll be protected. We already have volunteers that are lined up, gnawing at the bit, ready to get to work on that canteen. It's going to take a few months to build once it's ordered. But again, we wanted to just take the time and appreciate the effort and appreciate the thought. We had a canteen once before in Middlesex County. It was a 1985. Today, it's the oldest canteen in the state, and it's in Union County. So this will give us an opportunity to just assist our fellow citizens, the volunteers that go out for fires and respond with hydration and food, and it'll be a big asset to the county. And since you've already passed the resolution, I'm able to give you, see, we're actually known, if you talk to anybody at State Police, we're known for our pork roll, egg, and cheese sandwiches. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to bring any of those with me tonight.
Oh, no?
Well, we don't have the vehicle yet.
All right.
But we're also known for our coffee. And since I don't have the coffee with me, what I did want to do is see, this can't be a bribe because you've already passed it. So we want to give you a Salvation Army coffee mug. So if you're ever near the canteen, or you can use it actually for water too. But if so, you can have one.
Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's
We hope
wonderful.
we have the opportunity to fill it, preferably at a parade or something nicer than a fire. But we thank you again very much for thinking of us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Anybody else from the public?
Motion to close.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Fielder Tamaro. A motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Motion by Fielder Valente, seconded by Fielder Tamaro. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Meeting adjourned.
These are the things you got to do.